Hello, brothers and sisters of the light. I am Julie Joy of the Young Lightworkers, and as you may know from a couple of my previous videos, I am embarking on a collaboration with the Love One Society, and this series will be a Q&A with a divine being. It's featuring Tracee of the Love One Society and our own very special guest. Do you believe that there are or could possibly be extraterrestrials on our planet living among us? Do you believe that there could be ascended masters here now to help us with our own ascension? Have you ever experienced or seen a real live angel? Are you curious about all the latest intel but don't know who or what to believe? If you have answered yes to any of these questions, this series might be for you. If you're not certain, check in with your heart, not with your mind. The answer is within. This series is comprised of excerpts from a 2-hour-long conference call with Ron Giles and Tracee, our moderator of the Love One Society, and our very special guest. If you are curious about who this entity is, go to their website, qfs2020.com. I'll place the link below, or you can write to me directly. I'll place my email address below. I'm not at liberty at this time to use the guest name in the title or the audio, as I'm trying to protect my channel from censorship. I do want to emphasize that no one will ever contact you to ever try to sell you anything. I've never sold or promoted anything on my channel. I don't beg for Patreon. I'm not monetized right now, although I'm kind of considering it. Anyway, without further ado, please let me introduce to you Tracee of the Love One Society and our very special divine guest.
Okay, Dell from the USA. If religions are all bad, why did Jesus teach repentance, forgiveness, baptize others, and set the example of baptism by being baptized himself?
So is that what he taught?
Well, according to the Gospels.
Who wrote the book?
Well, John and Matthew and Mark.
So, a man.
Oh,
Okay. There was only one teaching we taught back then. It's the same as today. Go within. That's it.
Okay. If praying outside, this is also from Dell, if praying outside ourselves or to anyone but within is bad and making us pray, P-R-E-Y, according to Ron Amatron, why did Jesus pray to his Father? Same answer or something different?
Same answer, sorry.
I figured. Okay, if our reality mirrored the following 4 fantasy trilogies, what percentage would each one be? This is great. Jonah from Canada. And I'm going to say something really quick before I read this. Spielberg did not do Star Wars. It was George Lucas.
Cool.
So, Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter.
So I sat down with these guys one time. I can't say the name. Their great buddy, very famous TV show writer. I'll leave it at that. One of the oldest running TV shows. And I really don't have permission to use his name, but we went round and round about this. And these guys are truth speakers. That's what they are. And they're competing against the dark truth speakers. so I'll leave it at that. I want to be careful of which movie we talk about here, but you can see for yourself which ones are disclosure and which ones are misdirection, I assume. Again, when you work with your knowledge center, you should be able to answer these questions, no problem. Go ahead, Tracee. What's your thoughts there?
What are my thoughts? Well, I've listened to all your videos, so I'm thinking that Star Wars is disclosure. Star Trek is disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter has magic, so that might be bad. And Lord of the Rings is just kind of out there.
Very good. So I'll take great care here. You'll notice that if we look at the families here that have let's say, more knowledge and are controlling the planet, you'll find in their mansions and in their libraries, every one of them will have a Lord of the Rings book. And that is their Bible. Yes, Mr. Lucas has it right for the most part, as he did his best to tell the truth about many things. Primarily use the Force, Luke. That is the light. Use your faith center, use the insight. Did a very good job without being murdered. He did his best. Maybe not followed all the perfect paths in life, but certainly we can't judge someone for walking in their own shoes. For me, those movies are very good, and all the technology you see in those movies is actually here right now.
Why can't we see it? Why can't we use it?
Because you have had it hidden from you.
Well, can't you bring it out? Do something to get it out to us?
And part of it is if we were to summarize planet Earth, you're probably not ready for it either. And working within yourself is your primary objective now, to be a spirit being. Next thing we would do is go to the moon and have a kegger with our monster trucks, now wouldn't we? We're not doing a very good job here yet, are we? Okay. So that is a hint to some of the individual's opinion of us. Not that I agree with it, but that is part of the reason.
Okay. So besides Sting, Depeche Mode, and the others that you've mentioned, well, most people probably don't even know this, who are the best truther musicians?
Well, that's a big one. Isn't it amazing that a band could create a name to prove identity was false? And that would be the band Who. They literally showed you they don't believe in identity by calling them The Who. They're making fun of identity. So anyone that makes fun of identity is really number one for me. And certainly Prince was definitely one of those people who figured it out. And, I don't know if many people know that, but Prince spent time with David Icke, spoke concurrently the way he does. I hope that helps. And David Bowie is correct. I saw that one flash up. There's just so many. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. They're doing their best. Obviously Jim Morrison, on and on it goes. Chris Cornell, obviously poor Nirvana, and so forth. It's quite a few. Yeah, Mr. Marley as well.
Yeah, he has good frequency music. Okay, is it true that the young Jesus, after age of 14, traveled to many places around the world and lived the remainder of his life in Japan, where he was buried? That's from Rich in the...
That's one. We've got to remember there's three of us. The numbers don't add up for me. They're not quite right. But yes, that is fairly close. Not 100% accurate because, again, there was three of us. Hope that helps.
Okay, I think this question's already been answered. Margaret asks if this is a prison planet, and could this also be called a rescue mission?
Yes, and so that's my opinion, is I'm just a canary in the coal mine, doing my best to wave the hand and remind you what you already know. That is correct answer.
Cool. And Jonah from Canada, is the T on the end of a plane also part of their mind control? Planet. I get it. T on the end of planet, maybe.
Correct. I agree with that statement.
Interesting. Okay. I'm a chiropractor. How does the adjustment bring the person closer to their true connection to God within? That is from Marianne.
So I'm not sure I understand the orientation of the question, and I'll tell you why. Is because I consider all of us in touch with Source and God. So it's a little confusing the way that question is given, but I will say that being a healer is the most dangerous job on the planet. And I get a little outspoken regarding this because we have so many great modalities here. The diversity of healing capabilities with the brain is endless. The brain is a very good healer, believe it or not. because we're an eccentric brain body. All healers need to take great care when they do their healing to work from the heart center exclusively. Because every time you touch someone, be with someone, around someone, say something to someone, they're getting your stuff and you're getting their stuff. So if we would work with our heart center, as the questioner I believe is asking, that is how you work with Source. And everything will heal perfectly when you work exclusively with Source. Hope that helps.
Okay, so I'm going to skip to this question since you said that. So Sylvia, I'm going to summarize her question. She's done energy healing, and she's heard you say that remote healing is not advisable. And she's just wondering, what do I need to know about doing this? Because she does remote healing.
Yeah, it's a great question, and really impressed. Whoever that questioner is, you should commend yourself in that you're able to transfer and bilocate to do your healing. That's what you're doing, you're bilocating. Maybe my statement was taken out of context. I just encourage people to take great care when they do it. I'm not saying to do it or not do it. I'm saying take great care. As I started this conversation with you, Tracee, we're all getting our abilities back, and we need to be really careful because we're so powerful now. We need to play with our. I don't want to put fear in anybody's reality, but have so much fun with it through your heart center, you'll never go wrong. Hope that helps.
Cool. So Margaret from the USA asks, how do you help people that are good-hearted realize about the dark controlling the world?
Yeah, that is a common question these days. How do I wake up my little brother, right? He just bought another new Corvette. He thinks he's on top of the world, right? So just by walking the talk, living an inspired life. That's it. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I think people are slowly waking up. Okay, Larry from the USA asks, could you please explain the events leading up to and following the RV, specifically President Trump's return, Nassar, Jassar, EBS, GCR, and any other events that you can share?
Of those 20 questions you just asked me, can you pick one?
Okay, so what are the events leading up to the RV?
So you should have seen, forgive me, but I don't have a television. I don't participate because of the role that they've put me in for a lot of different reasons. But you should have seen by now, it should be fairly easy for you to see that the U.S. military, I'll talk about the U.S. exclusively, U.S. military is running what is presumed to be your country right now. So you're already in the middle of the flipping of the tablecloth right now. So it's confusing for me how people aren't aware of the sequence of events that have already happened when you do actually get some pretty good information. You don't obviously have a president in your country. You don't have an organizational alignment in your country either. You don't have anybody running your country at all right now. You have a lot of white hats that are assembling right now through the U.S. military running your country. Notice no one's running out of food. How is that happening? The goal was to take your power system down and all your food. That was the goal. Notice you still have food. Anybody without food? Everybody seems to be doing pretty good, aren't they? So anyway, those are some clues. I'll answer more progressively if you think what you need to, Tracee, but the question was a little long.
Okay, so I'm going to expand the same question because I think everybody would love to know. Does President Trump need to return first?
No, so Don was always going to be a transition specialist like me, but on the intrinsic level. So when you look at the nuts and bolts of operations, project management, construction, he's a perfect fit. He's a construction manager. That's what's going on right now. He's running a construction company, and he's rebuilding all of your systems with incredible vast amount of people, massive amount of people. He's the best delegator probably on the planet. He surrounds himself with killer people, and he wants them to get the attaboys. He wants them to be the heroes, because they are. Hope that helps.
Okay, so he doesn't need to come back. Do you think the EBS is going to come before or after the RV?
I won't comment on the EBS because it's installing timelines.
Okay.
I want to be very careful that I will not give you predictions. I will talk about things that have already happened in most cases. You can feel the sequence of events occurring, I would assume. You can see you're right in the middle of it right now.
Okay, well, if we can't trust the news, how do we get these sources? Like you said, you should be able to see that there's really no president. If we're not watching the TV, which I'm assuming most of us aren't, how are we to find out that?
Okay, so this will be my understanding and purpose of this call today. It always takes a little bit of time, but you're going to see that we're now understand why we're on this call today. Go in the mirror and ask yourself any question, and your heart will tell you the truth. You have all the knowledge in the universe, I guarantee you.
Dear listeners, it is I, Julie Joy, with a wrap-up for this particular message. I hope you enjoyed this exciting Q&A series as much as I did. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get my ratings up just a little bit, just for my own pleasure. I'm not monetized. I don't sell or promote anything. This is just to raise awareness on